Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are cracking open the digital blueprint of, well, a massive trend in health and wellness, intermittent fasting.
That's right.
Specifically, we've gathered sources that really dissect the anatomy of one of the most widely used apps out there, the Tracker by Gululu Tech Co., which, you might have seen as Go Fasting or something similar.
And our mission here is really to move past the glossy marketing and unpack what this app actually is.
All right.
Because it's way more than just a timer. It's a whole personal guide, a tracking tool that's designed to manage your entire fasting and eating cycle.
So we're looking at the structure.
Exactly. We need to understand the internal structure that, simplifies the IF lifestyle for people,
Yeah.
but also the framework it kind of imposes on your journey.
This is a deep dive for you, the learner, to get a shortcut to understanding the mechanics behind these super popular digital wellness tools. If you've ever wondered how an app can actually change your behavior, well, this is where we find out.
We're basically dissecting the mind of a mobile fasting coach.
Okay, let's unpack this. So, where do we start? I guess with the most basic function.
Well, a fundamental utility is it's rooted in time management, but it's wrapped in this layer of behavioral engineering. The core feature is the fasting timer and tracker.
The timer.
It serves as the single source of truth for your schedule.
And the sources all highlight that the simplicity of the interface is it's key to getting people on board. It's a really low barrier to entry.
Oh, absolutely. You initiate the fast with a single tap. You end it the same way.
So what makes that basic timer work beyond just, counting the hours?
It's the user experience. It's built on constant, unambiguous feedback. There's usually a big visual element like a countdown timer or a progress bar.
Something to look at.
Yes, something that provides real-time tracking of your fasting window. That visualization is so crucial because it keeps this invisible process of fasting tangible. It makes it immediate for you.
It turns abstract time into something you can actually see. Progress.
Exactly. Quantifiable progress.
Okay, but our sources also emphasize that the app isn't a one-size-fits-all tool. I mean, IF has so many variations. So what schedules does this tracker actually offer?
It standardizes the popular ones right out of the box. So you've got your entry-level schedules like the 14.10.
Right, 14 hours fasting, 10-hour eating window for beginners.
Exactly. And then you have the gold standard, the 16.8 schedule, which is probably the most common one.
But what about people who are more experienced or maybe doing something like an alternate day fast? It has to go beyond the basics.
It does. It caters to that deeper commitment with longer options, like the 20.4 schedule,
Yeah.
or even full 24-hour fasts.
Wow.
The structure is really designed to provide these clear, categorized options for both the beginner who's just finding their footing and, the veteran who's looking for a tougher protocol.
Here's where the analysis gets really critical for, real-world use.
Yeah.
Flexibility. Because if you can't stick to a perfectly rigid schedule every single day, what does the app do?
That's the strategic brilliance of the customization features. So while the predefined plans are a great starting point, the app lets you adjust the schedule on the fly, or even create your own completely unique, personalized fasting protocols.
So it feels more adaptive and less restrictive.
Precisely. It moves beyond that daily rigidity, helping you build the habit, even if your life isn't perfectly predictable.
And to maintain that consistency, which is, let's be honest, the biggest hurdle in any wellness routine.
That's where the reminders and notifications come in. They're very strategically implemented. The app sends you customized alerts for when to start and, just as importantly, when to stop your fast.
So it's a proactive nudge.
It is. It mitigates the main reason people fail, which is just forgetting or miscalculating the time.
So, okay, the app manages the time, it's flexible, and it uses notifications to build a routine. Let's move on. Beyond just time management, it's a whole tracking tool. What metrics does it focus on?
Right, because health tracking needs more than just a clock. The app integrates several different tools to create a more holistic picture of your progress.
And let's start with the one most people probably think of first with IF, body composition.
That would be the weight tracker. So you can log your weight, and the app immediately turns that raw number into motivational visual feedback.
Charts and graphs.
Yep, charts and graphs. It plots your progression towards your goals. And the power of that visualization, seeing a downward trend line is often the single greatest motivator.
And what about accountability for the fasting itself? I feel like tracking your consistency is almost more important than the weight in the short term.
That's where the detailed progress charts and history come in. The app keeps a full log of all your completed fasts.
The duration, the dates.
Everything. This lets you track your long-term compliance and, this is important, view your streak. And this streak mechanism, it subtly introduces gamification.
That's a critical point, the gamification. Does the app, by focusing so much on streaks and charts, maybe create a kind of psychological aversion to breaking that streak, the sort of digital sunk cost fallacy?
Absolutely. The incentive shifts from the, internal physical benefits to the external quantifiable reward of just maintaining that streak. It's a powerful lever for behavioral change. It transforms a potential lapse into what feels like a significant motivational failure.
Which drives you to adhere just to protect the history you've built up.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about practical things? Like one of the things people always forget during a fast is hydration.
Which brings us to the water hydration tracker. This isn't just a feature to log your water. It's a critical safety net.
How so?
Well, if you're in a long fast, a headache or fatigue might make you want to quit. But seeing that reminder to drink water or logging your intake can often mitigate those mild dehydration symptoms and keep you from breaking the fast.
Thus maintaining your streak.
Right. It all connects.
Now we get to the detail that I think really sets this kind of app apart. The part that most people are probably super curious about. The body status stages. This moves the app from just being a passive clock to an interactive, almost physiological guide. What are these insights?
This is a major value add, and it's often used to drive people toward the premium subscription.
I bet.
The app provides these educational insights into what is, well, theorized to be happening inside your body at different points in the fast.
But wait, hang on. The app isn't drawing your blood or measuring biomarkers. So since these are just time-based estimates, how does it even present this information?
That's the essential nuance. These are not medical diagnoses. They are predictive time-based models. Our sources show the app visualizes these transition points. So, for example, after 12 hours, it might signal you're past the post-absorptive state.
And now you're running on stored glucose.
Right. And then later, maybe around the 14 to 16-hour mark, it signals that you're entering the fat-burning state of ketosis.
Oh, it's visually mapping out that switch from carbs to fat for fuel. What about the deeper stuff, like autophagy?
That's when the app signals the initiation of processes like autophagy, the body's cellular cleanup mechanism. That usually happens later, often past the 18 or 20-hour mark.
And the purpose of these signals isn't scientific proof, is it?
No, it's motivational empowerment. Knowing that at hour 17 you are supposedly in autophagy gives you a powerful cognitive reason to push through that last difficult hour.
Yeah.
It connects the abstract discomfort of hunger to a concrete scientific benefit.
That's a huge insight. The app is leveraging the why to motivate the when.
Okay, so since the experience of fasting is so subjective, how does the app integrate, how you're feeling?
By including the mood journal or logger, this is crucial for holistic self-analysis. You can log subjective things, energy levels, focus, mood, hunger, and then you can overlay that data onto the time logs.
Which lets you identify patterns, right? Like realizing a 20.4 schedule makes you crash, but a 16.8 leaves you feeling great.
Precisely. It moves you from just following a routine to engaging in genuine, data-driven self-experimentation. Okay, so that transition from just logging to providing educational support is clearly meant to keep people engaged. What other educational structures does it have?
There's a pretty significant investment in content, usually through a dedicated learning center.
So, articles and tips.
Yes, articles, tips, and science-based info about the benefits of IF, health, nutrition. It all helps to reinforce the habit by giving you the why.
And since what you eat is just as important as when you eat, what about support for the eating window?
Practical support. It's offered through meal ideas and recipes. And these suggestions are often tailored to making good choices when you break your fast.
So things like keto or low-carb ideas.
Exactly. They often integrate popular complementary strategies to make sure your eating window doesn't sabotage the benefits you gain during the fast.
Okay, we've covered the functional and the educational parts. Now we have to talk about the ultimate driver, the business model. Gulu Tech isn't a charity. How do they monetize this?
The underlying strategy is the classic freemium model.
Of course.
The free version gives you the basics to track time and form the habit, the core timer, the simple buttons. But crucially, the free version typically contains ads.
So the ads are both a revenue stream and a mild annoyance, a little nudge to get you to upgrade.
A nudge, exactly. But what's the fundamental hook that gets someone who's already formed a habit to actually pay for a subscription?
It can't just be getting rid of the ads.
It's not. You pay for personalization and depth of insight. Access to the full suite requires an in-app purchase, usually a subscription. And that unlocks the features for advanced self-optimization.
So what are the specific lockouts? What do you get?
Well, removing as is the entry ticket, but the real value is the data and control. Subscribers get access to more advanced statistics and personalized insights.
Like long-term data trends or predicted weight loss?
Yes, and detailed reports that might link your mood data directly to your fasting performance.
And I'm guessing this is also where they lock the more specialized fasting protocols.
Absolutely. The subscription guarantees access to all fasting plans. This suggests that while beginner plans like 16.8 are free, the more advanced or unique schedules are behind that paywall.
So the free version is a great trial, but the real optimization tools are for subscribers only.
It's a very smart strategy. Get the user hooked on the simplicity, let them build up a consistency streak, and then leverage the value of their own data and those scientific insights to drive the upgrade.
So the main benefit of this app, then, is that it really simplifies the most confusing part of intermittent fasting, the timing and consistency, while also demystifying the biology with those educational stages.
That's the synthesis right there. It removes the mental work, offers motivational feedback with streaks and charts, and uses those educational cues to justify the tough moments.
So what does this all mean for you, the user, looking to adopt IF with a digital tool? We've seen how Gulu Tech structures this lifestyle change with timers, flexibility, and all these layers of tracking.
Which I think raises an important question for you to consider as you reflect on these digital guides. If these apps are primarily selling the visualization of progress and the motivational boost from estimated body stages like ketosis, are you paying for a habit management tool, or are you paying for the emotional reward of feeling scientifically informed? Think about which element, the simple consistency tracking or the high-level scientific insight, is the true engine of long-term success for you. Something to mull over as you explore your own sources.